Hello YouTube, CINEMANIACS here, and today I will be reviewing Man of Steel, the reboot in the Superman franchise, directed by Zack Snyder, director of 300 and Watchmen, and produced by Christopher Nolan, director of Memento, Inception, and the Dark Knight trilogy. Now, the film is mainly a prequel slash reboot to the other Superman movies. The plot follows Henry Cavill's character, Kal-El, who as a baby was put into a little pod by his father, Jor-El, played by Russell Crowe, who sent him to Earth to escape Krypton, which is sort of dying and going through an apocalypse, mainly to avoid being killed by General Zod, played by Michael Shannon. And a couple of years has passed, and General Zod finds Clark Kent, who accidentally activates the distress call from one of the Kryptonian ships and decides to sort of attack Earth until he gets Clark, who decides he wants to defend Earth from Zod, and he doesn't want to rebuild Krypton. So that's mainly the plot. That's sort of why he becomes Superman and stuff like that. Anyways, now don't shoot me down for this, but I actually did like Superman Returns. It was actually good. I thought Brandon Routh did a good job, and so did Kevin Spacey. But anyways, Henry Cavill does do a really good job in this film, and not to mention he is the first British actor to play Superman. So does Russell Crowe, and Michael Shannon is just really just so threatening as General Zod. I mean, you should actually see him on Boardwalk Empire. He plays Nelson Van Alden, the crooked FBI agent who goes on the run at the end of season 2. And I thought this was actually a pretty good film, and I did like Sucker Punch and 300. Not a big fan of Watchmen. Didn't really like the Ultimate Cut of Watchmen, mainly because it took too long and it was just sort of a waste of time. Didn't really know why I was watching it, which is why I sort of decided to hate the whole film altogether. But anyways, I mainly watched it because I mainly knew that Christopher Nolan was involved, and he's sort of one of my favourite directors. I absolutely love his Dark Knight trilogy, which is a really good, Batman's sort of one of my favourite superheroes. So, Henry Cavill's performance is pretty good. Amy Adams actually does quite a job. I mean, she looks really beautiful in this film. Kevin Costner sort of tries. He's okay. I didn't really like Kevin Costner in that Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I mean, really, come on. Robin Hood's not American. He's from Nottingham. He's English. If Kevin Costner's watching this, you could have just done a British accent, mate. Really, anyone can do it. Even I'm doing it right now. Also, the way the editing is done in this film, of course, after the explosion on Krypton, it cuts to an adult Clark Kent on a fishing boat who witnesses an oil rig explosion and goes to save the lives of many of the crew. Now, as he's like, floating there in the sea, or whenever he's sort of doing something or whatever, he gets flashbacks of his from his past, and there's one flashback where he even has flashback of his adopted father, played by Kevin Costner, dying in a hurricane, and then couple, like, about 10 minutes later, has another flashback with him, and he's like alive, which I sort of don't, it's sort of confusing, but I can sort of live with it in a way. I mean, it's like neo noir. It's what Quentin Tarantino does with Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and just all those other stuff. And yeah, so that's me stating my opinion on the editing. So anyway, I did actually like Michael Shannon's performance, and Crowe. Russell Crowe does actually do a good, supporting role in this, and I sort of mainly like some of his acting in Les Miserables, although people do sort of slang him off for singing. But anyways, I saw this film in IMAX 3D, and it is actually pretty good in 3D. Even the credits sort of pop out, and some of the some of the shots in this film kind of look like a Nolan movie, a Christopher Nolan movie, even though he was producing it rather than directing it. Well, he didn't really direct it, Zack Snyder did, but you sort of get my point. I mean, even though Christopher Nolan didn't really, do 3D, he always liked stuff in 2D and filmed with IMAX cameras. This one filmed in IMAX, but like it was sort of remastered for IMAX, but some of the shots sort of look good and very Nolan-esque. But anyways, some of the fight scenes were very well choreographed, and some of the visual effects were pretty good. Although some of it might have been, CG and fake. But who cares? It was still pretty good. So anyways, I actually quite enjoyed this movie, and it was, it was actually is actually pretty good in 3D and in IMAX. Yes. So anyways, I think Hans Zimmer's music is actually pretty good, although they didn't really. Not one point in this movie did they play the iconic John Williams theme tune. I'm just reviewing this. So, anyways, I would just like to give this movie a 9 out of 10. It was actually pretty good. So, this is Cine Madman signing out, and I will see you later. Bye.